This is the Fearless Finance Podcast with Amy Ross. Amy and the team at Gold Shield Wealth are dedicated to helping adults plan for and manage the hurdles they may face on their journey to retirement. Get more, including contact information in the show notes. Now, Fearless Finance with financial advisor Amy Ross.
My name is Mark Owens, and Amy, I feel like I need to play like presidential theme. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, did we have a bucket list moment, Amy?
Wow, did we ever? It was crazy.
So we had the opportunity to go hang out in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, we just chilled at the president's house.
Just hung out in his personal
by his
residency.
pool.
Went to the Golden White Ballroom, hung out by the pool, and had cocktails. Had pictures made under the big, beautiful flag.
Got to kiss my husband on his lawn.
Typical Tuesday in Amy Ross's life. We're going to let you hear some of the conversations. We had the opportunity to have a conversation, a one-on-one with Donald Trump Jr. And listen, I know it's a polarizing family, but that's not lost on us. But the most amazing experience to be in one of the most, how would you describe Mar-a-Lago? One of the most talked about spaces in the country?
Yeah, how do you describe it? I've tried. I really have tried to put it into words. And after seeing it, you just can't. That gold was unreal. What did they say? He spent $7 million last year just to refresh the gold.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
And to see the Secret Service everywhere. And
that was wild.
And when we got down there and we were kind of setting up some of the equipment, it was told to us a couple of times, just FYI, remember, you're being watched everywhere you go. They said the only place we don't watch you is in the bathroom. But even then, we watch you walk into so don't think you're not being watched, because you are.
Well, I saw the cameras up in the trees. Did you not see all the cameras? There's facial recognition everywhere there. Andrew and I were looking for it. We kind of made a game of it. Not that we were trying to do anything bad and hide from it, by the way, but we were just like, it was neat to see it all.
I had a Secret Service agent walk up to me like, by the way, your mortgage is due next week. I'm like, wait, what? How did you know
Whoa.
that? What?
They probably knew your blood type, too.
They probably did. Is that a real bird? Or is that bird's not real, is it? But anyway, it was truly an unbelievable experience. And I got to hang out. We always talk about family here on Fearless Finance with Amy Ross. And family dictates a lot of what we do in our life and what you do for the families you serve. And I got to meet probably the most important member of your family, and that's Andrew. And we had so much fun hanging out together.
He's a fun guy, isn't he?
He really is. If you haven't met Andrew, he looks like a WWE superstar. Big, thick, burly, bald guy. He comes walking up and you're like, well, it's been a good run. And then he just smiles and gives you a big hug. So
he's a big teddy bear is what he is.
He really is.
He just looks mean, but he's really not mean at all.
We'll get into more details next week, and we'll let you hear some of the conversation with Junior coming up on next week's Fearless Finance with Amy Ross. But speaking of celebrating these huge moments in our life with our family, a big moment for your daughter, Amy.
Well, I'm on pins and needles right now, Mark. I'm kind of having a hard time focusing on this radio show because my daughter is in Atlanta competing. She was one of 3 students to go for DECA in financial consulting for the state of South Carolina. So she was the only one from over here in Myrtle. The other 2 kids were from Greenville. And so she has made it into the top 20 in nationals now. So there's 20,000 kids in Atlanta. She's in the top 20. And so she's trying to win it. So she's competed, and now we're on pins and needles just waiting for those results to come in any minute.
So educate me. Top 20 now. If she does win, or top 5 or top 3, what does that mean?
That means college scholarships, Mark. For real.
Yeah.
She wants to get in. She's my business continuity plan. With Gold Shield Wealth, I'm not just trying to build something for today. I'm trying to build something for the future. And my daughter wants to follow in my footsteps, and she's got the brains and obviously the guts to do it. She's where she's at as a sophomore. So I'm investing in her. I want to get her into Wharton. That's her dream, is to go to Wharton Ivy League Business School. And so I want to leave all my people in good hands with my kid. I'm going to train someone for them. So college scholarships. If she gets into Ivy League, I'm going to need all I can get.
So
kids are expensive.
Yeah, Ivy League school.
Speaking of Ivy League, though, my stepdaughter, Lexi, at 22, I want to give a shout out to her. We just she got accepted into Columbia 2 weeks ago for psychology. Awesome. So I got one in Ivy League already.
Oh, God, you need these scholarships more than anybody right now. Goodness.
Yes, I need
Thoughts and prayers. So normally we kind of have an unspoken rule when we're doing the show. Keep your phones off. Let's try to focus on each other. But zero problem with you kind of keep an eye on the phone this weekend. Zero problem with that.
You go cut me a little slack this time.
100%.
Thank you, listeners. If I pause and if I go, woohoo, you'll know the results came in.
If the results come in during the show, you are allowed to just speed bump us right in the middle. And
I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm going to.
You can cuss. We'll pay the fine. It's okay. 843-585-5223. 843-585-5223 to reach out to Amy and the team at Gold Shield Wealth, or always online at goldshieldwealth.com. And speaking of family, we're big college football fans. Kind of sad news from the world of college and NFL and SEC Network. Tim Tebow. You don't have to be a Florida Gator fan to appreciate what he's done in the sport.
He's a good guy.
I'm a diehard Georgia Bulldog fan, and I hated him in college.
Yeah.
I could, because he whooped our butt for so many years.
Well, I mean, he's a good football player.
He's a great football player. But then his second chapter, what I respect about Tim Tebow is anything that he wanted to do, he did it. Wanted to play baseball? Played minor league baseball. Wanted to play in the NFL? Played in the NFL. Wanted to be a broadcaster? He's on ESPN. And plus, you just mentioned it, such a great guy with his charitable givings.
From everything I've seen, he seems very down to earth and like he's just like got a big heart.
Yeah. What is it? Night to Shine, where he hosts proms throughout the country for special needs kids.
Yeah. Actually, I saw, I have a friend here that I worked at in radiation therapy, and her daughter is special needs. And I think that she went to his in here in North Carolina, just right outside of like near Wilmington.
I love that.
So I thought, wow, that's crazy. He stretches way over here. That was just recently. So, I mean, I think he makes a good impact all over.
Well, he's a big family guy, and unfortunately, his father, Bob Tebow, passed away. It was last week. He was 78 years old. He battled Parkinson's for a long time, and not too long ago, a couple of years ago, we got to sit down with Tim Tebow, and he talked about the importance of creating that memory bucket of money for you, for your family, for those special moments.
It's one of the buckets in which I specifically break down my finances. Is one of those is making memories. It's in there for making memories for my family or for close friends or some specific projects, specific groups of people. There's so many things that we plan for, but why don't we plan for the memories and the moments? And one of those for me, I don't mind sharing, is my dad is a history buff and loves World War II and had never been to Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. So for his 70th birthday, I had money in that pot where we took my family to Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, where we got to celebrate. We got to spend time on the USS Chung Hoon. We got to do all the Pearl Harbor stuff. We got to do everything. And you also, I think part of it is you also think, how much time do I have? And for me, how much more time do I have with my dad? How many more times do I have to be able to take him to Pearl Harbor and create those memories and those moments? And to me, it was without a doubt worth it.
So this is something we talk about every week on Fearless Finance with Amy Ross, about creating these buckets for your financial future, for your retirement, but also, Amy, for the memory buckets, for moments just like this.
That really hit me pretty hard, because I've had that going through my mind lately about my own dad. He's 75, and I counted it out the other night. I was like, how many Christmases, because I don't get to see my family every Christmas. I'm like, how many more Christmases do I think I'm going to have the chance? And that falls right in line with what Tim Tebow's saying, is to create those memory buckets. Last night I did a dinner seminar, and we talked about that. A lot of people want to leave legacies for their family and money, but memories are worth so much more than money. When your kids look back and think, they'll remember that trip versus that dollar bill. It's just a different way of looking at it. Plus, there's a tax issue, right? They inherit your tax bill too. A lot of families miss that. So that's one thing that I do talk to all of my people that I sit down with. I'm like, how about we create memories? If you walk down the main hallway in my office, there's pictures of different countries, because I try to inspire people to go and create those memories, go places. I give everybody a notebook at my dinner seminars to write down one place you want to go and create a memory. And then I also encourage, take your kids with you, take the grandkids with you, or vice versa. If taking your parent is important, plan to take your parent somewhere.
Do you find that, like, some adults, originally it's like, I'm going to leave my family a legacy. I've got, I've been saving some money. I want to pass that down to the next generation. But as they get older and you start putting a plan together, that mindset shifts and they go, Amy, instead of leaving that, let's flip it completely. I want to take the kids, the grandkids, the great-grandkids, I want to take them to Disney.
A lot of times it doesn't shift completely, but I can get it to start steering the other way.
Right.
And generally, once they see how much true value that brings to their life, it's not hard to get them on board. Sometimes it's just, you got to get people on the right path. But yeah, that's where, life isn't infinite. we only have a certain number of days. And, as we get older, our bodies are designed to break down. That's the way God made us. We're not built to last forever. And so that's where, I think, when you really take advantage of being able to go do things. I've been thinking of taking my dad to Germany. He's always wanted to go to Germany because my grandpa was a double Purple Heart World War II vet. Awesome. He wants to go to overseas, but now my dad's body's breaking down and I may not be able to take him. That's why I've been struggling with that. So, think about those things, make those memories while you can.
That number is 843-585-5223, talking about creating these memories before, and it's the go-go, the slow-go, and the no-go. Before the no-go
You got
years.
it, man. You've learned it. Good job, Mark.
I've learned it by watching you, Amy. And I think there's something to be said there for a lot of adults. It's take advantage of it while you can during those go-go years, because once those no-go years,
you just don't know how long they're going to last.
Yep.
And, working with cancer patients for 20 years showed me really quick.
Yeah.
People will be just fine one day. Next thing you know, you're vomiting up blood and you've got stomach cancer. That's real life, people. So you have to think about it. Seize the day. If you're not working and you've got time, what's your excuse?
I've heard of people, and tell me if this is true, if you've seen this before, of adults who say, I've done a great job, but I'm going to spend every last penny on my kids, on my grandkids, on a charity. I want that last check to the funeral home. I want that one to bounce.
You know what? I love it. And another one that I heard the other day was a couple that didn't want to leave any money at all for their kids. They had pieces of crap children, honestly. And they said that the legacy that they wanted to leave their kids was credit card bills.
Oh, golly. Woo.
I loved that one. I was like, whoa, okay.
Mom and Dad getting the last laugh on that
Where
one.
we want to go, I can help you spend some money. Where are we planning? Let's go.
But you know what? Amy can create a plan.
You know what? I hear it all, and I love that. That's my most favorite thing about this job is all the answers that I get. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm just the person with the brains to help you put your plan in action. You just have to give me your plan. What do we want to do? Are we being selfish, or are we going to try to be generous, or somewhere in the middle? It's up to you.
Give them a call, 843-585-5223. Hey, Gold Shield Wealth, what can we help you with? Hey, I need to put together a selfish plan. All right. This is all about me.
Gotcha.
GoldShieldWealth.com. You can meet Amy and the team. You can send the team a note from the homepage. Again, GoldShieldWealth.com. Or we do have a representative standing by right now. That initial consultation. Let's figure out your financial future. What are you looking for in the go-go, the slow-go, the no-go years? What's going to make you happy? 843-585-5223. And as we're talking about these big trips, I found a list of some of the biggest mistakes that we make as parents and as grandparents as we plan our vacations. And this is great timing with the summer just upon us. Some of the biggest financial money mistakes we make that are costing us dearly as we try to have these experiences. I want to go through some of these and get your take on it. You good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
We budget only for the flights and the hotels. We forget to budget for the meals, the attractions, the transportation, the parking. We're just thinking about getting there and staying there. And then we got to eat and we got to drive.
You know what I've started doing personally is I like to budget for all of it. So I pay, if you buy your parking online for certain parks like that, it's cheaper. And then you have it all written out, because I've been burned, in the past. And then, after I married Andrew, I inherited 2 extra kids. So now instead of doing it for 2 kids, I'm doing it for 4. So, I try to help my my retirees with it. How do you save money on this? But yeah, it all adds up like crazy. A lot of times in the parks, you can buy the food passes. And it's much less expensive than buying it a la carte, at $12 for a hot dog. That's like nasty.
A good gray hot dog doesn't quite hit the spot.
It's not wonderful food, and it's crazy expensive.
Well, it's funny you say that, because another mistake that we make is we eat out for every single meal while on vacation. How often do we go to the beach, or we go get a cabin up in the mountains? We've got a big, beautiful kitchen, but we're still going out every day.
You know what? We do cook at home.
Yeah.
When we go, that's one thing I've also started doing, because I added it up, how much we were paying for eating out. If it's 2 people, it's not horrible, because sometimes it's hard to buy groceries. You have to buy, groceries are so expensive now too. You kind of got to weigh it out, you know, but I will say eating some in, especially breakfast, that's a good one. Eat breakfast in, because if you go out to breakfast, that's for 2 people now, it's $50.
Yeah. That's true.
Basically anywhere you go.
Yep.
Eat, eggs are cheap. Well, sometimes. Depending on the year.
They're down now. That's a good
They're
thing.
down now again, but it's still cheaper than a fancy breakfast out.
But you made a good point. It's all about planning, because here's another one. You plan your trip, but you don't realize that you're traveling during a peak vacation time, like when the kids are out of school, like a school break, spring break, fall break.
The airlines know that. The hotel people know that. They plan on that. That's what they wait all year for.
Yep.
So you can save thousands of dollars by just going at a different time.
I know that that can be kind of hard with school schedules and sports schedules, but with a little bit of proper planning, because you travel on the holiday, you want to go somewhere on the 4th of July weekend, that's probably going to be a couple $100 more a night.
You know what? It's significantly more expensive, because I shopped it just for this year, and I'm taking my family to Hawaii, to the Big Island. Corinne will be 16.
Nice.
And so we wanted to do something a little special, and it's a nice place to relax. And we were going to go and be traveling around the 4th of July, because I was like, oh, it's a good time to take off. Clients will be out of town too. I try to make that all work together, but it was significantly more expensive. So I bumped it out to the end of July into August, when it's not peak season. And it saved me a lot. I'm able to get an Airbnb right on the ocean for, I think, $2,000 less.
Oh, nice. And they say traveling midweek. Me and Gretchen did that years ago. One of our anniversaries, we went down to Jamaica. And instead of going like Thursday to Sunday, we went
Tuesday to Wednesday or something like that. It's a huge difference.
Not only did we went Tuesday to Friday, not only did we save a ton of money, we actually got upgraded when we got there to our own private concierge condo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You made the right friend when you checked in, didn't you?
I tell you what,
Did you flash your teeth at him and smile real big?
They thought these big fake teeth meant I had money. They didn't know. We had them fooled, Amy.
You're like, damn, those are some nice looking teeth. He's got some money.
Look at them chompers. 843-585-5223. Talking about some opportunities to plan properly for your vacation this summer with the kids and the grandkids. And this is something that we've done before, overschedule those activities. Now, this may not be a money thing. This may just be a stress thing.
Oh,
because
my God.
You do too much.
That one I've also learned the hard way. Yeah. See, I can give all this advice from sheer real life experience.
Yep.
And I will tell you, I have learned to do that too. When I plan out my vacation, I love planning vacation for my family. I print out a calendar. I have like a paper calendar, and I literally write it all down. And we do not do more than one activity each day. If it's a 2, like we like to zip line, so if we go zip lining, we'll go zip lining at 11 a.m. and then we're done for the day. That way we can relax, actually enjoy. Because so you think about it, you spend so much money on the lodging and you spend so much time looking to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you book everything outside of it and you never actually get to enjoy the grounds and the actual relaxation part. Because what I was doing to myself was I was going on trips and coming back so worn out. I was dysfunctional for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired. That's not the point of going places. You want it to be enjoyable.
My mom did this. She took us all to the beach a couple of years ago, all the kids, the boys and the grandkids. And she ran into the problem where she overscheduled everything. There's one day, instead of just sitting at the beach and let the kids run around and the brothers sit there and just be dumb boys, she was like, okay, we're going to go to the park, and then we're going to go, I got us the tickets to go get on the ferry, and then for dinner, we're going to go to the pier, and then we're going to do some shopping. And while it was fun, it just kind of wore everybody out. And I understand what she was doing. Yep. She was trying to get as much in as possible with the grandkids. But at the end of the day, we were slap worn out, and we were kind of picking at each other.
It's quality and not quantity.
Yep. That's it.
For sure. Her heart was in the right place.
Yep.
But probably by the third activities, those kids had checked out anyway, and it becomes a waste of money.
Yep.
I think people overextend themselves in every aspect of life most of the time. I think we all as humans have a problem with that, don't we?
Well, do you think it's because we work so much and we work so hard, whether you love your job or you hate your job? We work very, very hard. And then when we do have the opportunity to shut it down, there's some of them, myself included, we feel like we got to fill every second with the big joys in our life.
Exactly. And then it's overkill.
Yeah. We're talking about some of the ways that you can waste money and waste energy on vacation with the family, with the kids and the grandkids here on Fearless Finance with Amy Ross. She's always about working on your budget, always thinking about your income. 843-585-5223. So you're listening this weekend and you're thinking, I want to take the grandkids on a big round-the-world cruise next summer. Well, Amy can help you start putting that plan together today. 843-585-5223, goldshieldwealth.com. All right, this is kind of in your world. those that skip the travel insurance because of delay, illness, a cancellation, that can turn into a big bill and a nightmare. Where do you fall on? Because I always hit ignore. I'm guilty of hitting ignore for travel insurance. Where do you fall?
I always look at the cost of it and the cost of the trip. For my Hawaii trip, for example, it's quite pricey. And I know with my life right now, with the business and everything else, that I might not. So I took it. I think it's situational. I think it's no different than your portfolio. It's not cookie cutter. You got to look at your own situation and see, does it suit you? I mean, if it's $1,000 airline, you know what I'm saying? I think it just depends. How much do you really stand to lose? Yeah. If you haven't been feeling well, the thing is, when you get into your 70s, like I said, things can change. Stupid COVID variants can start going around and get you, you just never know. So if it's reasonable and it makes sense, then I don't think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
But sometimes it isn't reasonable and it doesn't make sense. So I look at all this stuff with my clients though. If they have questions about even that type of thing, I love getting those calls. Hey, Amy, it says this. What do you think? And I'm like, no, that's piece of junk. Don't take that. You don't want that. I that's what I'm here for. So I would say, look at it. Don't totally just hit ignore like you're doing, Mark. Actually read it before you hit ignore.
You're 100% right on that. But I do love that you said that. I love that you said that your clients, the families that you serve, they will call you with even the most simplistic question.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that thrills me to death because that shows me that I have the relationship that I wanted. Mm-hmm. I want to be that. All of my clients, I always say, I'll be your friend too if you'll let me. I want to be because I want to know what's going on in your life so I can really help you. If I don't know things are going on, I can't help.
Mm-hmm. That number is 843-585-5223. It's, of course, you're going to talk 401ks. Always going to be thinking about your taxes. Always thinking about income, Social Security, all of that comes in with creating a retirement strategy. But I love how Amy just said that. I'll be your friend if you let me. I'm here for you more than just...
That's what I want to be. I mean, I have some of the best relationships. I'm about to have over 40 women in my office in the middle of May as just a thank you to all my ladies.
I love that.
Not all the single ladies, married women too.
843-585-5223, goldshieldwealth.com. That initial consultation, no cost, no obligation from Amy Ross. Well, here's a big one. I'm sure you've seen this before. Those of us that do not set that daily spending limit.
Oh, that'll really get you, especially if you've got kids, because they strategically place. I think we've talked about this before in one of our shows, but they strategically place those darn gift shops.
They know.
With, the most ridiculously priced things ever in them. So, you could spend a fortune, just not even. But so what we've started doing with, because Phoebe, she's 10 now, and she's getting a little bit better. But when she was younger, everywhere she went, she wanted everything she saw. Yep. And, as a parent, it's hard to say no. It gets exhausting. It just does. And they know that. They wear you down. So what we started doing is actually giving the kids some money, and even the grandparents do too. They give Andrew's mom and my parents, they give the kids actual money for trips, and they have their cash so that the kids can actually see, wow, I just spent $20 on a sucker.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wow, that didn't last very long, did it? So I think, really you can use vacation to teach your kids responsibility and your grandkids responsibility at the same time. And that's really helped me with mine.
That $6 Finding Nemo plushie on Amazon is now $45 in the gift shop.
Exactly. Or you want to throw some ring toss and it's $5 to throw 5 of them, right? And the next thing you know, you have nothing to show for your money. So that honestly did. That really helped us kind of train our children. Like, it doesn't grow on trees.
And I'm going to sound like a hypocrite here because here I am saying, parents set a spending budget. When we were at Epcot, of course, we were drinking around the world, which was always a lot of fun. And then we were in France and my wife goes, let's get a glass of champagne. Perfect. About $15 per glass. All right, I'm fine with that. I know it's a little expensive, but then the sweet girl behind the counter, hey, would you like a double pour? Well, of course I would. Don't ask silly questions.
Then there goes your judgment right out the window.
So that turned into over $30 per glass.
I told you.
$60 for 2 glasses. And I don't even like champagne. I was doing it for my bride.
Say, that's all that'll buy you as a headache.
God, that one hurt. So that
she knew she had you, though. She knew it. She's like, sucker.
Hey,
got him.
Hey, look, he looks exhausted running around with a bunch of kids in Epcot. You want more alcohol?
You want more alcohol? Sure.
Yes, I do. All right, let me give you one more before we hit pause for a minute here. And this is a big one, too, when it comes to traveling and opportunities to save some money, times, effort, headaches. Booking the cheapest flight at the worst time. The red eyes, long layovers, late arrivals, those could actually trigger extra hotel nights, which means more meals, which means more transportation. So be careful when you booking that flight.
Yeah, that can seem like a real good idea on paper.
Yeah.
And then when you actually have to live through it, it's not the same. So I'm always big on quality of stuff, not quantity, quality.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take a vacation, plan it the way you want it to be. Don't take such miserable flights, because that really ruins 2 days of your time there.
Yeah.
Right. If you have 5 days and you've booked a flight that you're exhausted, that first day that you're there, you're not even going to have any fun.
Exactly.
And then if you have a miserable flight on the return, it's going to cut that last day short too, to try to get there. So if you're going to take a vacation, plan for it appropriately. Sit down with me and we'll figure out a way to pay for it and do it up the right way so you actually enjoy it. Because spending the money and not getting the true value and the enjoyment out of it, that's a waste.
And you talk about the value. I'm the baby, the middle brother. He lives in Ireland, and we went to go see him a couple summers ago. Well, it was just a boys' trip, me and the two brothers. My oldest brother, who's super frugal, he flew from Atlanta to Boston for like a 4-hour layover, and then Boston over to Dublin to save like $200.
Exactly. There's a return on your time,
yes.
too.
That's it. I did the direct flight. It left at 8 o'clock out of Atlanta. And then I laid my head back. I mean, I spent some time in the Sky Lounge, but that's a whole nother story. I laid my head back, and then when I woke up, we were almost there.
And you probably felt a lot more refreshed and better than he did at the very beginning of that trip. Am I right?
Yeah. That just seems stress-inducing to save $200. Yes.
It's a lot of anxiety for no reason, because the more layovers and the more things that you interject in, I always say the more moving parts you add, the more things can go wrong.
Yep.
So try to keep it clean and simple and stress-free. That's what you need.
And especially when traveling with kids and grandkids.
Yes.
The less connections you have to make, the better on your stress.
Oh, honey, when I get to travel by myself, I'm like, whoa, I'm like freedom. I can bebop around wherever, stop wherever I want. But, when I have the whole family with me, it's different. Not that I love that too, but it's just different, when you're traveling with more than one person.
Agreed.
Especially children.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Gold Shield Wealth Financial. Gold Shield Wealth is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Gold Shield Wealth Financial are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Gold Shield Wealth Financial and IPW are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Gold Shield Wealth is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Gold Shield Wealth. This radio show is a paid placement. Any and all services related to Medicare are an outside business activity and are not offered through or supervised by Impact Partnership Wealth, IPW, LLC. Gold Shield Wealth has a strategic partnership with tax professionals and attorneys who can provide tax and or legal advice.